Drop a like and do share. Leave your comments and do not forget to subscribe for more videos.
Hello and welcome to Edupedia World.
Welcome to SAP UI5 training session. In this training session, we're gonna see how the table control is created in sap.m.table. The table is, so we can have multiple columns, and inside these columns we have rows. And then we'll now see the code, how the code works. So we'll start with bootstrapping. In the bootstrapping, we have to include SAP data-SAP UI binding syntax inside your bootstrapping file, and below this we have instantiate the view in OView and view name, and we have to give the view name. How you instantiate a view, it is SAP UI view, and inside it is an ID and a view name and a type, which type it is, and then we are placing it in a content. So the content is in the div. And next, when you go, it will go to your SAP UI5 tutorial1.o table. So it will go to o table view. So inside this view, what we are trying to do is we are trying to load the score view namespaces. So namespaces.core, that is SAP UI.core, that means the library, and another namespace is MVC, that is SAP UI.core.mvc. Another namespace is, by default you want to use a M because it's a mobile application, so SAP.m. And then when we are using a controller name, and that time it will be SAP UI5 controller1.o table. So this is nothing but it will go to this particular controller. And then another namespace is HTML. So in this HTML, we will be placing http://w3schools1 because we want to use a HTML if required in future. By default, it comes whenever you create a new view, that time it will come. So how do you create table? So this is a table, that means it says sap.m.table. So inside this table we'll be placing items. So items is coming from model. So what is a binding /product collection? So /product collection, and in this we are using a header information where we are displaying the product title. That means the table title. So how are we going to declare that? Header toolbar, it is an aggregation. So inside this aggregation we are using sap.m.toolbar, and inside this we are placing sap.m.label, and inside this label we are placing a text, that is products, and then we are closing this header, and after that we are having columns. So inside these columns we have number of columns. Now for us we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, and 5 columns, the supplier's width is different, dimension width is different, and weight difference and price. And then we'll see how this width is been calculated. And see, now we have taken a first column with the width 12 em we have taken, and we have placed a text called product, that means column name. And next is column supplier, and this supplier we are saying the minimum screen width is tablet. So when we do minimum screen width is tablet, so when you open it in a tablet, by default the screen size will take a width of tablet and it will be redefining it. The UI means automatically it will be responsive. That is what this table M controls will do. The M controls are always responsive. So when you say minimum screen width equal to tablet, by default you are using target audience are tablet users, And when you say minimum screen width equal to phone, then your target audience is phone. So your application will work on phone, mobile devices. And then when you say demand pop-in equal to true, that means it will be populated with no pop-ins. And then next is text. So the text is equal to supplier, and you can see a column, that is sap.m.column. And what are the properties? What is the minimum screen width and demand pop-in? How do you check that? You will be going to here, explode, and once you explode, you have seen the code, and you have to go back to table. Here we click on table. So table, there are 9 examples, and we have sap.column here. So inside this column we have properties. So inside these properties, the default is false. According to your screen width settings, the column can be hidden in different screen sizes. That is called demand pop-in. It's always false. So you don't want to hide it, you want to make it true. You want to hide your columns in different sizes. So when you set it to the true, the column as a pop-in instead of hiding it. So this is what the minimum screen width is, depends on it. See, when you use a minimum screen width is equal to tablet, then that has some resolution, 480px or 4am, etc. So tablet, phone, desktop, small, medium, large. You can make use of this enumerations. That means it depends on your screen size. So based on that, your target audience will be viewing it. So will not have any problem. If your target audience are tablet, then it's better to use tablet. If it is phone, better to use it in the phone. But it doesn't make much difference. But them controls are already having a CSS which automatically adjusts the size depending on your screen. And the minimum screen width is tablet. Similarly, we are taking a dimensions, another column, and another column. Similarly, we are taking a weight, and another column we are taking a price. So this is what the O table is. Columns. So we have set the columns. So see the size of the first column, it is 12 em, and then the rest column we are taking size width from tablet. So tablet width it will take. Tablet width it will take. So we'll go there. Our example. See, this is a tablet width. 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 And this one is 12 em. That is fixed. This one is varying because we have set some CSS to it depending on the width, device width. And 5 columns are created. Now how the data is binding. So the aggregation for the table is items. So inside these items we have something called column list item. So once you have column list item, we have cells as aggregations again. And inside these cells we have the list of data. O object identifier. And we have used identifier because we want to take title and description. So title can be name and description can be text. Text. The ID can be, product ID can be text. That means description. Usually we can use for the description this text because it comes to the below line of name. So the name is highlighted as bold as usual whenever you use object identifier. And the next column, it is text. And the next column, that is text only. Inside this we are binding width, depth, height and diamond unit. So these are the 4 model properties, and we are binding it to the 3rd column. And the 4th column is object number. So inside this object number we have number, unit and state. So first the number, weigh measure, and the unit we are placing it whatever unit it is EA, USD, or anything like weighing unit will be placed, and then the state of it. State will be displayed on basis of success, warning, or error. So success has some CSS, means it has some color called green, and warning has some color, and red has some color. Sorry, error has some color. That is meant by red. That means red, sorry. So we'll go to formatter. So inside this formatter, we have SAPUI5 tutorial 1.util.formatter. Then the text will be going here, and it will check the value. Depending on the value we want to see. Suppose in my organization, if the weight is less than 1000, that is nothing but success. If it is less than 2000, then it is warning. And then if it is more than 2000, then it is error. So if it is less than 0, then don't apply anything. The weight cannot be negative. So this is how the function is written. So try and catch method is always used, because if you have any error, that time your error will be displayed. Whenever the error comes, then it will directly say the state as none. So instead of the numbers, in future if you have placed any string, then it has to be an error, right? Like if it doesn't success any thing, then it will be an error, right? So like that, this is a handling concept, try and catch method. And then we'll go to, in the last column we have object number only. So now object number will have a number and unit that will be displayed, and cells. And it will go to OTable controller.js. After reading the view, it will go to the controller. So in the controller, you'll be having a model. Inside this model, you are placing the SAPUI.model.json.json model, and inside this you are getting a local JSON file. So how you're getting a local JSON file is model/model.json. So this .getView.set model, that means inside this model you'll be having O model. So O model is nothing but the JSON model. So where this JSON model is coming from? It is coming from this file, particular file. So this is all about O table with normal columns. So we'll see this. Press F12 and we'll see the formatter first, whether it is going to this formatter or not. Once we click, first is 1467, right? This weight, it is in grams. So we'll go there and check. Once I load, yes, it is coming. So what is the first value? It is 1467. So that means it will be less than 0? No, it is less than 1000. So if it is less than 1000, no, it is less than 2000. If it is less than 2000, then it is warning. Right. Okay, it is less than 2000, so it is coming to this particular. Yeah, and then it will give you the warning like that. Similarly, we will be doing it for the all items. So next item will be 321. So 321 is not that, so it will give that success. So similarly, we have it for the another one, that is 588. It has to be success. So it will go to, right? Yes, it is, the value is less than 1000, so it will be returning success. So that's what we will be doing it for the other things. So this is one way of displaying table. So there are different ways. There are 9 ways of displaying O table. That is with the breadcrumbs and fixed versus layout, merge cells, personalization, vertical alignment, and view settings, export and outdated data. So what does it do? What breadcrumbs will do? So it will give you some logic to navigate a simple error case. So how it is? Just click on this breadcrumbs So this is how 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you have some navigation. So this navigation, see, supplier, titanium, like this it gives. Once you click on this, projector. So it is hierarchy. So when you get supplier, have supplier like this. So this is all about breadcrumbs. You can make use of this code. See, once accessories, the drill down, and you can click on this, it will come to here, this here, supplier, take on. So this is how it is. You can select it, multi-select or something, and you can order it like this. This is a table breadcrumb. And similarly, we have fixed versus auto layout. So this is a fixed layout. So this has some certain width and certain width. And when you open a dialog, it will open some dialog box and close it. And if you don't want to fixed, see, product, once the text, it depends on your text, the value, it will be depending. Once you say fixed, it will be auto adjusted. 1, 2, 3, and this text will be wrapped. Once you click on this, nothing. There's a navigation tool, that's it. Clear? This is nothing but fixed with auto layout. So this is auto layout. When you click on this is fixed layout. This is how the fixed layout is. We have another one, that is merge cells. So when we go to merge cells, once this is used when you have a multiple number of rows repeated. So for example, so we have certain suppliers. So in this supplier we have certain list of properties. That time you only use this, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows inside this. So this is all one applied to one supplier. These products are associated to only one supplier. This is what it means. So if you want to display the table in such way, if your business scenario is like that, then please use this merge cells concept. And when you go down, you have this. So this is merge cells. Next one is personalization. So the personalization is, it's your own way. If you want to group it, if you want not group it, if you want to have some settings, depending on the settings, you want to have certain things, that time you can use setting, or you can group it and use setting, and then your data will be personalized accordingly. See, you want to use all or only dimensions or only weight, primary group, then say OK. So your group will be automatically created. Like this you can use personalization. So next is vertical alignment. So it's a good example for aligning your data vertically and the row template. So that is what we will see. See, vertical template. 1, 2 we have done. Inside this 10 quantity and 10 pieces you want to have it. So this is what it is. So you can place items inside this. That time you can use this type of alignment. So the table alignment is over, vertical alignment. So we'll go to view settings. So once we go to view settings, we have this products. So depending on this view, we want to set the ascending or descending. You can do descending, the view will be descending order. So webcam like this will come in a descending order. So this is one way of doing it. So next is export. You can export your table into a CSV file or any Excel diagram. That time you can have it. So you'll have a download option. Once you click download, your data will be downloaded. You can view this. Once you view this, the Excel will come with the data, whatever data it is. So CSV file will be created So this data is coming in a single row. How it is done? It is used. There's a code inside this. Everything is same, but in the controller you have placed a button download. When you say on download button, we can make use of this and we can see, because most of them wants a downloading option. So this is how we use, and we go to a table controller. Inside this table controller we'll have a data export. So inside this data export, util.export we can use, and we can use this, and we can export the table information. Okay, and then destroy. So we'll be using this logic there, and we'll see. The most of them will ask this. Most of the customers will say, can I export the data? We can export the data like this. We can save button, and to this button I'm placing an icon, that is SAP icon.download. So normal button, if you don't place an icon, it will be a normal button, and if you place an icon, it will be that icon button. So when you press this, our data export is called. So you'll go there, and here you'll be placing that particular control, press event, and the function to the right. So O event, and save it. Once you save it, it will be saved, and we'll be going to the index.html, go to view. Now the controller. In this you will be writing a logic. So what logic? You'll be writing this one. So we'll copy this. So once we copy, we can paste it there. So we can paste it here, and we can save it. Now this is done. So we'll see where this is coming from. So here it is closed, this one. So we have to use this function inside this. Now, yeah, inside this you can use it. This would save it. There is some problem because we already have this, right? Now we already placed in flower basis, right? Export encrypted file. Okay. So we'll go to this error and check what is multiple semicolons are spread. So we'll go to normal. Yep. We'll save. So inside this, we'll go and see first. So when you say data export, we have to say on data export like this. So we can have a function like this, or can have like this also. So this data export. So we'll copy this. So it will be like this. We'll see, and then we'll put a comma and save it. Right, and we'll be removing this. Save it, and we'll shift Control Shift F. That will be formatted. See, first what I have taken is a function name, So one function name is called sap.m.table.prototype.export data. If it is sap.m.export data, then or function, that's fine. So we'll be using this export. First export, how is done? SAPUI.co.util.export. So it will have an predefined CSV. So in this we have export. So you can check what are the options available for this also. One only exporting the data as a CSV file. They have different types also. Once you go here, you have to press F12. Once you say F12, clear this, and you have to dot. You take it this in a variable. So this is not defined. sap.ui. So we'll see sap.ui.util. So it is not available. Your dot version. We'll check the version, which version we are using. Yep, it is set. We'll say get core. 1 second. So we'll say take it in a variable now, equal to, and k dot util, right? So we'll say 1 second, this is an sapui.co.util. We'll see what is coming over here and we'll check. Usually we do it like sapui.co.util. So that means it will export, or export types will be there. That might be CSV, it might be a Word, PDF, etc. It can be exported, the data. So similarly, you have to export type inside this. So how we're going to do is, first we can check like this also. You have to go here and go to your development kit. So inside this development kit, you will have the properties and everything. So once it is loaded, you have to go to API references. So once you click on API references, so it's SAP UI. Under this UI we have core. So inside this core we have all the properties. We have export. So we have to see where is the export. So core, SAP.core, SAP.util. First util, inside this util we have code. So we'll go to util. So inside this util we have export, export cell, export CSV, like that we have. So serialization. Okay, we have export type CSV. So we can export it to the CSV. So they have already provided to export into CSV file. Export the column, export cell, like that. For the table you can use. Okay, so that's the reason we have used SAPUI core.util.export. So inside this we have export property type, export. Once you click on export, you'll get this type of properties. So here we'll have export types. So once you click on export type, and you can give export types. So these are the export types. So file extension, M.IND type, etc. File extension we can give. So once again there will be types. So managed objects, the extended class. So you can check, like, see, this is a validation errors. Yeah, this is for the validations. Like if the file is not success, if file has error, you can use GPAVA validations, format error, parse error. Okay, this accepts CSV, export type CSV. So export type CSV has this type of properties. File extensions, MIND type characters. So we'll go here. So special separated characters, semicolon. And then the models, whatever the models you want to get the data from. So which model we have binded it? We have binded it from the products.json. So what is the path for that? It is this. So we are exporting that. And then the columns, and which columns we are binding, that we have to give it here. Similarly like the table. So name, template name, content, name, product, name is product, template, which template you want to have, and that's name. That means it will be repeated. The template will be repeated. And then product ID and supplier name similarly, and we are doing it for the other dimensions too. So dimensions width. So these are parts. Why we use parts? You know that. So when we use parts means we are passing a multiple input parameters. And then formatter. So formatter has a function. I'm not calling any formatter from here. We are directly writing a function here. Because if you want to calculate anything, addition or something, you can do it here and you can export it into your CSV file. And then the warning. State is warning and you'll get the value of that. And then the next one is the weight. So we are creating the template. Two things. And then you're binding. This is a model property. Weight measure and weight unit are the model properties. And the next one is name, price, and template, content. So in this content we have a model property again. So price and currency. So this is how we are doing it. How do we save it? Export dot save file dot always destroy. After saving the file, destroy. That's it. This is how to download the export file. So we'll see the UI and we'll refresh. We'll refresh our code. We'll refresh and we'll press F12 so it is taking some time. It will take some time and it will load. And once it is loaded, and you will be seeing the difference. Why it is taking time? Because it is loading from the external resource. And once we click, there will be a button in the header. Yeah, there's a button, there's a dialog box. So once you say download, and it will call this download all option, and in this F12 we'll see whether read property export is not coming. So we'll go to source, remove this table controller, and we'll go to this export. So how do we include this sap.ui.core here? So what you have to do is you have to use jQuery.require. I haven't saved this file yet. Save this file. I'm going to require sap.ui.core here. sap.ui.core. I'm going to save it and I'm going to refresh it once again and I'll put a breakpoint here. Once I do that sap.ui.core, then your core libraries can be accessed. So it will go to this model. Then we'll see there is an error. sap.ui.core is not loaded. So how do we load an external thing is, we'll be seeing that now. So what we have to do is we have to include sap.require, right? So this is not coming. So we have a certain two things which we have to require. That is sap.ui.core.util, because we are using this export, and sap.ui.core.util.export.type.csv. We have to use this because we are using this two inside this. So once we do, save it and we'll go to the routing example, and we'll run. Once we run, it will be executed, and we're gonna download it. So once I download, CSV will be coming. So once I CSV, I'll open it and see the product ID. First one is project 4713, like this. And I want to change the data, and I want to see, because I want to see whether the things are working fine or not. So this power name, I'll change it to whatever the name, SAPUI5 tutorial example, and I'm going to save it. So once I save it, what I have to do, I have to refresh the page here, and I want to see the change first inside this table, and then we can check it in the output. So once it's loaded, we'll see, yes, it is SAP UI5 tutorial example, and once it is there, we can download it. Once we download, it is the data 3, and once you click on this, open, and we want to see the change SAP UI5 tutorial example. Here it is. Can you see this? So this is how the data is. Don't save. I'm going to revert back the change and save it. So you can check this by yourself, and what we have done is have went into this code, I've added to the XML data one button, and into this button I've added a O-table controller, one function, that is O-export. So in this export, I'm using this. Inside this, I'm using a special character, comma. Every entry, it will be comma separated. That is used for the CSV file. Similarly, you can do it for the PDF download, etc. Rows, columns, and then export, and you are saving the file here. And after saving, you are destroying it. So for that, you have to include this. This is the main thing. Okay, this is how the export works. So we'll close this, and we'll go back to the outdated data. So till this, similarly, you can try with the merge cells, fixed layout, or personalization, vertical alignment, etc. You can try by yourself. And then table export, we have seen the example. This is main important, because whenever we do a download options, because most of the SAP scenarios we have a download options, that too PDF conversions and Excel or CSV. So that time we can make use of this. And then outdated data. Once we click on outdated data, this is only used for the show overlay concept property. So once we click, this will be previewed. Okay, so this is a supplier. We'll have a button. It is titanium. So we can check for the titanium, and then we want to use a filter, and titanium filter, and you say go. That's it. So supplier related titanium will be coming for the filter options. Or you want to add for the red point, so and say go. Here it is. Like this, we'll have a data filtering in the table. You can hide filter also here. Hide filter and show filter. Simple. You're doing operations like this. Click on here, go to techno.com, and then go like this. So there are different types of tables. So one is columns, breadcrumbs, fixed layout, merge cells, personalization, vertical alignment, view settings, export, and out data. So these are all different types. So we have seen export, that is a main important thing, and we have given columns. So to these columns only, we will be applying it, the breadcrumbs, fixed layout or auto layout, etc. Depending on your business scenario, you can do it. This is all O table, about O table. Thank you for listening, and in the next session we'll be seeing other control.
Thank you for watching Edupedia World. Stay tuned for more videos.